I believe once again that Ed might be the future of the Street Fighter franchise. Now, what are you saying? You're like, Arroyo, what do you mean Ed might be the future of the Street Fighter universe? Why did I just repeat what you said in the title, but said, what are you saying? Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button, comment down below, and leave a like. Really helps out the channel. Trying to hit 2K subs, trying to hit 3K, 5K, 10K, 100K, 10 million, 500 billion. So please, hitting a subscribe button if you're watching this really helps out the channel. Makes you feel good, right? It makes you feel good, and you're supporting a small content creator. Haha. But Ed, this individual right here, right? Why do I think Ed is the future of the Street Fighter series? Well, as we all know, Ed was the first person in Street Fighter 5 to have the modern control type, right? Ed and Falk, who came later, where, you know, they were the initial one-button DP, one-button super, which now we have the modern control scheme for the entire series of Street Fighter 6. But what if I told you that Capcom is perfectly tuning Ed to be the perfect balance that a character also has within Street Fighter 6? How, you might ask? Once again, you're just asking so many questions. I'll explain it to you. Just calm down. Ed is a character that has no plus on block buttons, right? Except for one, right? Minus, 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 right? You get it. The only plus on block button is stand heavy kick, which, if you don't know, if you're new to the channel, which is fine, right? It whips completely on crouchers, right? So this button is only useful during certain setups and if the opponent is stand blocking. The only way Ed has access to plus frames while their enemy is not burned out, right, when they have dry gauge, is if they are standing and you land a stand heavy kick, right? So overall, pretty, you know, balanced normals, right? He's not like really stealing turns. He's not doing anything too crazy. Now let's take a look at his special moves. Fireball, -5, punishable. Medium fireball, right? They're all -5, right? Light blitz, -5, punishable. Medium blitz, -12, punishable. Heavy blitz, -12, punishable. Standing flicker, -6, punishable. Medium flicker, -6. And heavy flicker, once again, has a unique property of no matter how close you are, it only hits airborne opponents, meaning that this move can only be used for heavy reads. Now, of course, you don't got to talk about the DPs. Of course, all DPs, super negative. Now, where Ed gains his plus frames from are his fully charged snatchers, right? Or not fully charged, but his charged snatchers, right? There's a little flicker, right? Like that, as you see, it goes bloop, and then he's able to get +4. The other way is with EX. Immediately, you don't need to charge it, right? Like this one. You don't need to charge it, you get the same +4. EX Fireball, -2, and EX Blitz, -3. So Ed only really has 3 ways of getting plus frames when the enemy is not in burnout. Obviously, other plus frames could be like a jumping heavy punch. Like we're gonna exclude those. Everybody has those in a way. Like I think that's just like a game mechanic, right? But Ed, when on the ground, has only 3 ways of getting plus frames in a game that I feel like is riddled with characters having plus on block good normals. But this is also why I think Ed is one of the best designed characters in Street Fighter 6. And that is, he doesn't destroy you. Can I keep it fixed? Right? Ed doesn't destroy you when you're burned out, right? His normals now become plus, right? Ed now has plus on block normals. But, as we saw earlier, his special moves are still negative. -1, -8, -8, -1 on the normal. This is now -2. Once again, the only way for Ed to get plus... Now, once again, on this is going to be +8, right? We're standing navigate if they're not crouching. The only way for Ed to just have plus frames is by him to, once again, spend meter. This leaves him +2, right? Not 2+. This leaves Ed +1, by the way. And once again, EX Snatcher leaves him +8, right? And then pull-in Snatcher also leaves him +8. So once again, we have the same 4 ways of Ed being able to acquire the plus frames. Now, why is this very good for Capcom? Or why is this good for the state of Street Fighter 6? is because when you get hit by a plus on block normal, look at Bison's drive gauge. He gains drive gauge, but he doesn't lose any chip damage. Right? The only way for Ed to do chip damage consistently would be to land a plus on block normal, right? And then do another normal plus on block, and then that's the only way he can really get chip damage, right? But what do you notice? The only way Ed can get chip damage consistently is to spend his own meter. He doesn't have a way of really chipping you out while keeping the pressure going unless he spends his own drive gauge. Let me say that again. Unless I spend my own meter, I won't get the benefit of the plus frames. Everything Ed has is negative. Now, once again, his normals are plus on block, right? +1 now. +3 now. +3. +3. -1. And obviously standing heavy kick, -8. Crouching heavy kick, 0 on block, right? Standing heavy punch, +3, right? Ed now has access to plus on block normals to push the opponent, right, to the corner, right? Depending on, you know, how far it is, right? You're pushing them back. You're pushing them back until finally, right? You know, push them back a little bit more, right? Land one of these, pop one of those out, pop one of these out. Try, you know, do some of those. And then finally, you're able to work your opponent to the corner and then do your, what do you call it? Then do your stun combo. But Bison didn't lose any health, right? The amount of health Bison had when he was stunned and the amount of health he has now while he's burned out is the reason why I believe Ed is the future of game design in Street Fighter 6. Because realistically, that sounds pretty balanced, right? When you think about it, that sounds pretty balanced. You can fight somebody like, let's see, who's really good? Is it Aki? What's like an easy one? Doesn't Ryu have like a very easy with like Hashogeki? He does like heavy punch Hashogeki and the opponent like can't do anything. What's this? This is +6. This is +1, right? Yeah, so he can do like, he can do stuff like this, right? Right? Look, and then, you know, look at this. This is +1, you know, this is +1. Bank. You know, then, you know, do stuff like this, right? Bank. Oopsie. So, now let's say Bison just blocks, right? Let's say Bison just blocks. He doesn't do a reversal. He doesn't do anything else, right? Because obviously you can do supers, but obviously that's always like a risk. That's always like a risk. Let's say Bison doesn't block a single Hashogeki, right? Just this doing. I'm not a Ryu man. I'm not a Ryu man. Look at the health difference. Look at that. Meterless, by the way. Meterless. I didn't have to spend meter. I just did Hashogeki. Now, let me verify something. Let me just verify something. Is this a true block string, right? Crouching light punch. Right? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, whoopsie. Whoopsie. Look at that. See? See that? See that? Do you see what I am saying? Ryu is spending no meter. You cannot really press. After you get hit by this, all Ryu has to do is another standing jab, and then that links. Right? All Ryu has to do is just standing jab again. Is this cool? No, it's not, right? That's why Ed is that's why Ed is good. That's why Ed is the future of Street Fighter. Because in order to be plus, I have to spend meter. Right? I have to spend meter. Then I can get my, you know, then I can get my little licks in. But in order for me to be plus, I have to spend meter. That's why I believe Ed is the future of Street Fighter. Ed is perfectly fucking balanced. That's why they didn't change much about him in the balance match. Because you can't take away from Ed. Because he already doesn't fucking have half the shit the cast has. He doesn't have plus on block fucking normals. He doesn't have an overhead. And I'm always going to fucking talk about the overhead. Fuck you. He doesn't have an overhead. He doesn't have a command grab. He doesn't have plus on block normals unless the enemy is fucking standing. Right? Unless the enemy is standing. And even then, this fucking thing that has no range. Right? This move has no range. For, you know, for even if Akuma standing heavy kick, yes, you're going to say Akuma standing heavy kick also whips on crouchers. Only the second hit, and that's if you already crouched the first hit. If you're standing, if the first hit hits you and you crouch, the second hit will fucking whiff. Or, I mean, the second hit will still fucking hit, even if you're crouching, right? Not very good. So now what I think why this is the future of Street Fighter is because they kind of almost did it with Terry, right? They almost did it with Terry. They almost gave Terry the edge treatment. Now they didn't, unfortunately. Oh wait, my bad. Let me pick Terry here. They almost gave Terry the edge treatment where it comes to like plus, like Terry has no plus on block normals, but what they did was like they gave him this +1 on block normal, right? Which is pretty shitty, right? They gave him this, and I think once again if we make fuckboy here. Do standing light punch, because I think his light punch is 4 frames, right? So this is what they did, right? Where you can check it now, which is, but I mean you can still like do something like that, you know, like there's still like mix-ups, like, which is good, right? In my opinion, I think that's good. But if they do medium, is this not plus on block? My bad. Let me verify. Yeah, this is +1. So why am I getting hit? Okay, there we go. I was just bad. You know, hit. Right, there you go, right? You can do something like that, right? So if you do like a medium, then you can like link that into like the light. And then I think you get like a few reps. You get like a few reps. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, they almost gave Terry the edge treatment, in my opinion, right? Where they made all of Terry's normals negative, right? All these bitches are just negative, right? They're -1 to -3. So it's never your turn still. And this one's like -4. -2 overhead. But when you're in burnout, right, a lot of his normals become plus. But obviously you can still check it. So I think that's the future of Street Fighter 6, in my opinion. Everybody's going to get negative on block normals. I hope so, right? Negative normals. Maybe one good negative or one good plus on block 1 that works against a specific fucking thing. And then in order to be plus in burnout, you have to spend your own meter, because fighting somebody and you're in burnout, right, depending on what round it is, it's a death sentence, right? It's a death sentence, which is very bad. But of course, leave a comment down below what you think. I mean, that's what I hope the future of Street Fighter turns into. The worst part is when you fight, like, real quick, a little thing is when you fight like somebody like Bison, right? Though this is like the worst part of the game, where it becomes more strike throw than it needed to be, right? Is it forward medium kick? Back medium kick? Is it back heavy kick? Right, like right here. Like this being +1, and then now you have to guess. And then this being +1 from like a good distance. Like, it feels kind of cheap, because obviously this becomes +5 or some shit, like win and burnout. And then you throw the bomb in. Like, the fact that this character can just do this, and then now you just have to guess. Like, it's their turn. Obviously, a lot of Bisons like to go for like 2 into a throw. Do this, maybe like a light jab to see if you're doing it, and then go into a throw. Like, kind of fucking weird. I hate that. But once again, please leave a comment down below what you think. I truly believe that Ed is the perfectly designed character. Maybe a few tweaks here and there, but overall, if people played a little bit more like Ed when it came to frame data wise and pressure wise and reads, I think Street Fighter 6 would be a lot more like a respected game. People call it like less volatile, because, you know, obviously you have something like, you know, you have something like this now, and this guy's +5 in your fucking face, and any button he hits is going to beat your buttons most of the time. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it for the 17th time. I'm sorry. I love yapping. Tune in to the stream. You'll hear me out more, and I'll see y'all again next time. See ya!